presentation on grasshoppers. My name is Reagan Burns and I'm in section 559. Grasshoppers, a little bit about them. Their scientific name is Calliphora. They belong to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, order Orthoptera, and family Archidae. I chose grasshoppers for this project because they are protostomes. This means that during embryonic development, the mouth develops from the blastopore instead of the anus. When the anus develops from the blastopore, we consider those organisms to be deuterostomes, but grasshoppers are protostomes because their mouth evolves from the blastopore. A little bit about grasshoppers. We understand most to live in grasslands and meadows, but there are a few species that are adapted to live in deserts and forests, as long as they have access to some sort of vegetation. They are herbivores, which means they eat grasses, leaves, seeds, stems, etc. They do this using mandibles, which, as you can see, are located for you in the picture on the right of this slide. These structures allow grasshoppers to bite and chew plant tissue for ingestion. Um, Grasshoppers can eat 16 times their weight, and they are prey for a variety of predators, including insects, spiders, birds, and small mammals such as mice. Grasshoppers do have a few unique traits that separate them from other organisms. Their first being their jumping ability. This is huge in their protection against predators. Um, their jumping ability spans between 10 and 20 times their body length, which you can see in the picture of the grasshopper on the right. Their back legs are super long compared to the size of their body, which allows for them to jump away from predators. They also can participate in camouflage and mimicry. Mimicry is when an organism can blend into its surrounding environment. So, as you can see in the grasshopper on this slide, looks kind of like a leaf. That's how this grasshopper or this organism would potentially protect itself from predators. Additionally, camouflage the coloring. Most grasshoppers are either green or brown, which allows for them to blend into their environment and hide from predators. But also on the opposite end of that spectrum, there's a species called the eastern lubber grasshopper, and this species actually uses bright colors to warn their predators that they are poisonous. We can see this also take place in organisms like ladybugs, but this is just another protection tactic against predators. And lastly, grasshoppers can produce sound using stridulation, which is just when they rub their back legs together to produce a sound, either just for communication or mating purposes. Understanding grasshoppers is important in their relation to other phylum. So we know grasshoppers are anthropodas, meaning they would fall right here on this diagram. And understanding this position, we know that they contain traits 1 and 2, which can be seen right here. But also because of their positioning, they lack most of these or all of these traits that fall under the other phylum, but also show and present all of these traits. Grasshoppers are super important because of their positioning in the food web and their participation in nutrient recycling. Not only do they eat a lot of vegetation and allow the nutrients from this vegetation to be recycled into other organisms, but they also are prey for many species and are nutrients themselves. So, if they were extinct, we can expect many species that rely on grasshoppers as a food source to face a problem with finding enough food. Um, but also on the other end of that spectrum, too many grasshoppers can be harmful as well. In large numbers, they can actually turn into a pest species due to the threat of damaging crops and vegetation. And then here are just some links that I used to gain some of this information. Thank you guys so much for watching.